Today I'm going to talk to you about the home buying process in Miami, and I'm going to get started right now. Hey everyone, my name is Jamey Prezzi. I'm a real estate agent in Miami and Miami Beach, and today I'm going to talk to you about the process of buying a home in Miami. Actually, I'm going to be doing a 90-day to homeowner challenge over the next 90 days. And I am going to explain to you about the process of buying a home in our area and what to expect. Now, I know I've done a lot of videos about buying a house here, but I'm just going to dive a little bit deeper into the process and go in a series of steps to hopefully make sure that I can bring everything together and make it easier for you. So in the information box, I have a free 90-day to homeowner PDF guide that you can use and download and just use as a workbook to guide you along the process. Also, I have a free relocation guide if you'd like to download that as well, and I will add you to our weekly newsletter. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing that you need to think about when you are buying a house is really not so much looking at listings online and not analyzing everything as much as you really need to think about, are you ready to do this? Are you just doing it because a lot of your friends are also buying a house, or are you doing it because you really want to put down some roots and live in that community? Buying a home is not only a big financial commitment, but it's also a huge emotional commitment as well, because once you buy a home, it's time to put down some roots. And you're going to probably live there for a little bit. So you just need to make sure that that is something that you are ready to do and you're able to commit to doing. One thing that I always recommend that people do before they start the process, because once you get into the process, just things start moving along very quickly. But if you have a little bit of time and you're working through the next 90 days to buying a house, or maybe you're planning on buying a home in 2021, I would definitely recommend to just take a step back for a second and really go through some of the neighborhoods where you're interested in buying and start the process by driving through those neighborhoods in the evening, during the day. Use your work to commute back and forth to that neighborhood and just make sure that that's the area where you want to live. There are a lot of little sub-neighborhoods all over the city, so maybe if you want to reach out to me and tell me a little bit about what you're looking for, I can help guide you to some neighborhoods that you may not even be aware even exist, and that happens all the time. From there, one thing that people really underestimate is the amount of money that you need for closing costs. Very often people will just calculate in the down payment, but you need to remember that you will also have some closing costs associated with purchasing the property. And closing costs include things like the homeowner's insurance, the taxes, and the homeowner's insurance can greatly vary depending on the type of property you're buying, what type of flood insurance you need. So in addition to the down payment, you will also have some closing costs that you need to prepare for. So then that's when my next recommendation is going to be, go ahead and reach out to a local lender, a lender who you know, maybe someone's referred you to them. I also have a great list of lenders that I'm happy to recommend you, but definitely reach out to a lender and see kind of the cost that you will need to budget for in terms of purchasing the real estate. Also, make sure you look at your credit report and see if there's any dings or something on the credit report that doesn't look right, because now is the time to address those issues so that you have time to get them cleared up before you actually need to go make a loan application. And having some issues on your credit report can cost you a lot of money and can even mean you may not be able to get financing just because those issues aren't resolved. So if you are about 90 days out from purchasing real estate, definitely go ahead and look at the credit report right now. And one very important thing that you need to do is interview agents and make sure that you choose an agent who is sort of on the same page as you, someone that you know and like and trust, because it's definitely a very tedious process and you need to make sure that you're working with someone that you trust. I always say on my checklist, I have over 180 things to do on my list. There are other vendors that have to get pulled together through the process just to pull everything together, from the lender, the title company, attorney, you have inspectors, insurance people. So there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And I will tell you, it is not something that you can just do and just wing it. It is a process that has to be done thoroughly and correctly and in the right way to make sure that you're successful on the other side. If you have more questions about buying real estate in our area, I'm always here to be a resource for you. And don't forget to download my 90 Days to Home Ownership Guide so you can get started on working on the process now. I have so much information to share with you, friends, and if you're wondering what's going on in our market, just know that our market is neighborhood by neighborhood, type of property by type of property, and you need to make sure that you're working with educated local professionals who can best guide you through the process. That's it for today, and I will see you soon.